$300-mile bike ride. It's going to be more likely 310 miles of the new King John Way, which goes through the Shires. 2 routes, one on road, one off road. The one we're going to do is the off road one. The Thursday evening after work, we're going to get between 23 and 43 miles in tonight, find somewhere to stay, and each day maybe 100 miles, with the last day being 60 odd miles. I'm going to try and finish it by a Sunday, but if not, I've got a Monday as a slip day. Lincoln Castle, the old medieval 11th century castle, that's what I'm looking forward to the most in here. Never ridden on these roads before, I've not even visited most of the places, so it's a proper little adventure for me and for Wolfie.
Right as a pound there, isn't it?
Glorious sun out and a nice tailwind, so we're making some good progress to start with. So a bit of drama. First hour done, we've just done over 15 miles. It's a nice cruise on these roads. We've only even met a handful of cars. So we're heading towards Boston. Probably a little bit too far ahead of our marker, so we're going to get some food there. Things might change now. I'm going to have a look about to see what Boston can offer.
Boston. There were some nice buildings. I just wasn't prepared. I mean, I should have tried harder at school with languages. But even if I had, I would have struggled to understand anybody here. But who am I to judge? I suppose I'm a typical Englishman that goes abroad and expects everyone else to speak English. The only difference here is I wasn't the one who embarrassed myself. By this time our bellies were calling.
Made it to Boston. Gonna have a bite to eat in a place in here, Rancho Grill. We spent Wolfie's monthly wage on a chicken burger, and we're off on it now. Very bumpy along here. Yeah, very quiet roads, not a car since we were in Boston.
So why is this route named King John? Well, King John Lackland was the King of England between 1199 and 1216. He was infamous for his conflicts with the English barons. He was the son of King Henry II and brother of Richard I, also known as Richard the Lionheart. John had many ties to the area we were riding, hence the connection. A revolt at the end of his reign led to the sealing of the Magna Carta. He eventually died at the age of 49 in Newark Castle, a place we will visit on the route.
That's so it doesn't fall back, it came off.
So my seat post bodge has failed already. Just needs a zip tie around it, in the true GCN traditions.
That means round his neck. It's bound to it. Still cruising along here. Change of direction, we're going to go over this bridge. It's a Spa Trail. Let's see what delights it's got in store for us. Cruising speed. So 6:50 in the morning and we're out back on the route. It's a damp start to the morning, just with mildew on the tent, but really nice temperature. Not a bad location to sleep. We're just on this little track now, and then we're going to go and find some food this morning, maybe in Hornchurch. If not, we'll push on. Just a gentle pace.
Beautiful morning, not a cloud in the sky, sun is shining, warm, nice. No air, no wind. Thank you.
First little incline we've come to in sort of 45-46 miles. Nice warm up.
Supposed to be flat in Lincolnshire. This is a nice little spot.
I cheated, I went over the bridge. "13.5 miles in this morning. We've still not had breakfast, but we're just cruising along. And we'll stop somewhere appropriate when it happens. But until then, we're enjoying these country little lanes. The elevation's been good today, up and down, twisty, lots of like oak trees. You can hear the birds tweeting along them, rabbits running across the road, usual thing. But it's been good. Bit of a wind from over here, but a nice view.
Bolingbroke Castle is easily missed if you don't keep an eye on the route. Luckily, we had noticed and looped back to the old castle ruin. This enclosure castle was built out of Spilsby greenstone. Spilsby itself is a town we will visit shortly. This area was first fortified by the Saxons around the 6th or 7th century. Later on, the Normans built a motte and bailey on a nearby hill, but it wasn't until 1220 the present structure was built. The future King Henry IV was born at the castle in 1367. By the 15th or 16th century, which was around the Tudor period, the castle had fallen into disrepair and was used as an administrative centre. At the start of the First English Civil War, the castle was again put into military use to garrison soldiers, becoming a defensible base. However, in 1643 it was badly damaged, besieged by forces. That winter the castle was destroyed. In 1652, what remained of the castle was slighted, meaning it was deliberately damaged to reduce its value. The towers and walls were torn down and dumped into the moat. The last major structure collapsed in 1815.
More hills. Not quite finished yet, but that was 10% are up there. Spilsby. Just had a mega bath in Spilsby, so we've refueled some public toilets there. We've used them, had a quick wash, we're back on the road. It's 10 o'clock and it's quite warm today. I believe there's some rain due in, about 2200 tonight, so as long as we make some good progress today, we should stay a bit dry. Yeah, dog fight of birds. No, it's a buzzard. A buzzard? Yeah, the crows were off that busy road and onto a little incline. Just riding through Willoughby now. There's hedges in this.
Yep.
Opposed to yesterday, where there was no protection.
Holes ahead.
and we arrived at the coast, about 5 miles north of Skegness, in a place called Chapel St Leonard's, a place known for caravans and campsites. It just reminded me of the film Cocoon. Our priority here was to get a water refill and keep moving, as it was baking hot by this point.
Very warm day and very breezy. Thankfully, the majority has been a tail.
It's 47 miles done for today. It's just coming up to midday. Just come from the coast, inland. A couple of busy roads, heavy traffic, so I haven't filmed on there. Just hoping it gets a bit quieter from here. Quite open on these roads again, so having to contend with side winds adds to the challenge. It's really warm today, high 20s. I'm not so sure, maybe 24. Drank a bottle of water, just over an hour, getting the fluids down, but there's not many places to stop this part of the route. Another busy road. This is more like it. Heading back towards the coast now, and then we're going to hug a left and then start going north towards Grimsby.
So about 5 or 6 miles from Grimsby. Hopefully we're not going to go to Grimsby because it's very grim there.
And you missed this one.
Bad dad jokes, I hear.
See the tower up at Grimsby ahead in the distance, so making good progress today. It's close to 3 o'clock, I believe. 2:26, so that's over 70 miles done, so 70.71. So maybe another 30 miles today. We've got good time to do it.
So this is Cleethorpes.
This was a lovely sunny Friday afternoon, but unfortunately our timing in reaching Cleethorpes was far from ideal. If we had more time, we may have pushed onto Grimsby, but we continued with our plan. Our poor timing seen us arrive at a time where school had just finished. People were leaving work. This created a huge amount of traffic on the roads, and the drivers of the vehicles were very impatient. There was lots of slipping on and off cycle paths and roads. It was not my idea of having fun. Whilst the hustle and bustle continued, we stopped for an afternoon snack, which was very much needed by this point. Once we got going, we started to head inland once again, heading towards somewhere to eat and eventually stay.
Coming up to 80 miles. Been a really warm day. I'm hoping that's the last of that busy traffic segment and we're back into quiet roads, because that was not a nice bit for me. It's probably the time of day, 1500 onwards. Kids coming out of school, people leaving work, Friday evening. It's just a cacophony for a disaster.
But not before Wolfie getting some of the dreaded cramps out of nowhere. It's okay, he'd fix that later on with a well-earned beer or two.
Remote controlled aircraft.
10, like, isn't it? You're either going up or down.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. Three miles in, heading towards Brig now. Just looking, got a downhill segment, we're all good. That's just over 100 miles done. They've even put a sign out for Wolfie over here.
Brig is a small market town situated on one of the most northerly points of this route. The people there were pleasant. We stopped at Wetherspoons, which was saturated with young and old. After Wolfie stopped hiccuping from his beers, we soon started to head southwest to find our camp for the night.
Right, all fed. It'd be good to sit down in the sun for about an hour. Bit of a chill, and then go and find somewhere to camp. Yeah, it's a nice place really, eating in there, and the people seem all nice. Get the tent up, and I get some rest ready for tomorrow. On to leg 3 of our journey. To Gainsborough this morning, we'll get some breakfast there, all being well, and then off to the castle.
Morning.
See, all the way back here, you can't hear Wolf. He's beeping, he's squeaking, his mobile phone's going off. Peaceful. What building is this?
This building was in fact Gainsborough Old Hall. The hall is open throughout the year, but we arrived a little early. That didn't stop us taking time to admire this beautiful old building. The hall was built in 1460 by a rich and powerful family. It was a demonstration of the family's wealth and prominence in the area at the time. Inside there are a number of witches' marks thought to prevent against evil. There are also curses carved into its walls, as well as a number of burn marks to protect against fire.
On the outskirts of Gainsborough. A few raindrops in the sky.
Willingham Gainsborough, not William Gainsborough. Another church. Nice design. Still lead on it as well, basically. Suppose have a picture, yeah.
Road 26 miles, short of 2 hours. Currently heading towards Lincoln. We didn't stop for any breakfast in Gainsborough, so getting a little bit hungry, but nothing I can't handle. So since we're in Gainsborough, I've been on country lanes, quite a country lanes. We just spied Lincoln, which is to my left now, so I should be able to see it very shortly. It's very much in the distance, probably about 8 miles away. See that white house, cream house in the distance, just behind it. That's where I can see. So that's where we're heading towards. And the ground that's a little bit higher. Until then, we're going to battle on with this headwind. Any chance this could be a Roman road?
It feels like it, doesn't it?
They don't know how to put corners in it. Riding along the canal path into Lincoln now. Just letting my food settle down. That's where we're headed. In the distance. In front of us is a bridge. If we stuck to the original route, we wouldn't go into Lincoln, so I plotted a little route separate. It's about 7 miles in and around Lincoln and back out, and it will rejoin this part of the route.
the nice barges.
And this was our detour to see the city of Lincoln, mainly the castle and the cathedral.
Steep hills.
But first we had a few cheeky gradients to deal with, which I ended up riding twice because I forgot to restart my GPS. What a rookie mistake, and I couldn't leave it just like that.
14%.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you.
The early parts of this majestic cathedral dates back to 1072. An earthquake, a century later, seen it severely damaged. After this, it was rebuilt in phases with an abundance of Gothic architecture that we can see today, making it the magnificent beauty it is. It is the UK's fourth largest cathedral by floor area, falling behind Liverpool, St Paul's and York Minster. It also boasts to hold one of the 4 remaining copies of the original Magna Carta, which can be seen in the castle. Closely situated next to the cathedral is Lincoln Castle, which creates a visually striking relationship at the city's high point. The castle is of medieval design, constructed during the late 11th century by no other than William the Conqueror, a man of many talents, I hear. This castle is one of only 2 castles in the country that has 2 moats. It was used as a prison and court until modern times, which helped preserve it. On the day we visited, it was ready to be used as a concert venue.
So behind these houses is the castle walls. So we're just going to circumnavigate around the castle walls, under a few arches, to the town hall, and then we'll get back to the route. Still quite oldie-worldy down here. The modern face.
Although Lincoln was beautiful and quirky, we didn't hang around too long. Many parts were too busy for our liking. It was nice to look at and enjoy, but we also enjoy the tranquility of the countryside so much more. So once we had seen what we had wanted to see, we were back onto the route.
As that's finished with Lincoln, now just turning back to the original route now. So we've just rejoined it, and the wind's picking up. Nice little path, quite enjoying this part. No people on here, just us 2 cyclists. How are you enjoying the wind?
Loving it. Beautiful old church.
Nice wind. Keep talking about it. It's very open. Had a pit stop to get some water and some food. and because it's so hot, I had my cycling cap doused in water, so it's very nice. Just going down some other tracks now. Change my jersey because my other jersey is a lightweight jersey and the sun penetrates through it.
Just on our way to Newark. A single track.
King John Lackland was jokingly nicknamed by his father because he was a younger son, so he was not expected to inherit significant lands. Newark Castle was founded in the mid-12th century, originally in timber but later replaced by a stone structure. It was at Newark Castle where King John died, thought to be of dysentery, but some say he was poisoned. As a result of the English Civil War, the castle was slighted in the 17th century. It was then left derelict for many years, and thankfully it was restored in 1889. This Grade 1 listed building stands proud alongside the River Trent.
Day full of stop-start and get more water, it's just warm. There's a perfect headwind here. Just standing up on tandems work. Had my fun, caught them up, went past them. At least Wolf has been useful for a change. After a day of headwind, we do have a bit of a tailwind. Not perfect, but a good start. Big spire ahead, Cocoon and butter trees, so we've still got a tailwind. So it was about 72 miles today, a lot of it headwind, and then we've got the tailwind. We've just done the last 5 miles at 19 miles an hour, so it's welcome because we got so far behind on time, the tailwinds pushed us forward. So heading towards Grantham, probably get something to eat, and then move on a little bit, find somewhere to camp for tonight, and then work out what mileage we've got left for tomorrow. So it's been a good day today. Busy at times, but most of the roads have been quiet. Not a lot of traffic. It is a Saturday, so you would expect it to be a lot busy if it was ever going to be busy today. But it's been good.
On our way to Grantham. Lovely sunny evening. Mustard. Grantham 5.5. Feels like another old railway track, doesn't it? Where's all the beers? Where's all the beers? Ah.
I'm enjoying this bit, just going into Grantham along the canal. It's a nice track. Never expected it. Yeah. It's a good little bit of the route. It's more bumpy down here.
Number 66. Oh, made it without falling in, which is always a bonus.
Overall, a very good track. I'm not so sure that rough bit's where I want to be.
No, you'll come and find yourself robbed in the night.
Do you mean robbed in the night? Robbed during the day. Yeah. Seen some special characters. Is that the best way to describe them? A slight detour, looking for some food. Takeaway tonight, I reckon. That's fed and watered, and the last little push to find somewhere to camp for tonight, and then there should be about 75 miles left tomorrow, all being well. Seen better days. Hills out of Grantham on a full belly. I think I've got a tailwind, which helps. Road's still deserted. Oh, spoke too soon. Second day with triple figures. Last day, final push. Perfect little camp spot that. We've got a friend travelling with me. So quiet lanes on this Sunday morning. We're going to go to Stamford and then back up towards Holbeach. It's about 60 miles.
Another beautiful day. Very few clouds. Sun's been up for an hour, two. Well, quite a few hours now actually.
Just using momentum to get up this hill. Managed the first bit. I think I'll spin this second bit out. on lookout. Castle Bytham.
I reckon that's the castle there.
And he was right, it was Castle Bytham. I'd ridden past it, not even noticed it, too busy focusing on the next climb. The castle was built on a spur of land above the River Tham, not long after the Norman conquest of 1066. After a siege, it was captured by Henry III in 1221. It was he who ordered the castle to be destroyed. It was restored with connections to Henry IV in the 14th century, but its demise didn't come long after in the 15th century, where it burned down during the War of the Roses. The stone was robbed for local buildings. By the 20th century, there was no longer any stonework to be seen above ground.
A bit like you getting up in the morning. Cyclist behind. Are we okay to come through? Thank you very much. Have a great day. A lot of churches on this route. There's like one every 2 miles. It's Sunday today. On Tuesday, I had a look at the weather forecast and I decided on Thursday that I would start this ride. The weather's been really good. I couldn't ask for more. There was some rain patches about, but thankfully they stayed away. Done well just doing that last minute sort of planning. Now, I'm not too fussed about rain, but if I can avoid it, I will. I had tomorrow, Monday, as a backup day as well, just in case it took a bit longer. Hello.
Crowland has two sides of a historical interest. The first is Trinity Bridge, which dates back to the 14th century. It once stood over the River Welland. The river since has long been rerouted. Odd in design with its unique three-way stone arch. And on to the Abbey. The monastic history started here in the 8th century, but it and the community was entirely destroyed by the Danes in 866. After bringing it back to its former glory, it was again destroyed by fire, first in 1091 and 1170. It was rebuilt each time. In 1539, the abbey was dissolved, with the monastic buildings being demolished. During the English Civil War, the remains of the abbey was fortified and garrisoned. And after a short siege, it was taken by parliamentarian Oliver Cromwell. This is when it appears to have sustained the most serious damage to its structure. The nave roof fell in 1720 and the south wall was taken down a couple of decades later. Today, all that remains intact is the north aisle, which is in use as a parish church.
Did that fit you, that? About 50 miles done for today. Maybe we could have 10 miles left, plus or minus. Why can't old tarmac be like this? Beautiful. About 5 miles left. There's even a sign that says Holbeach. That's our little target where we started. It's been a really good route. Seeing the demographic of the UK in all its glory. Everywhere's a little bit different. Yes, we've done a circumnavigation sort of loop, but there's a lot to see in that. There's a nice mixture of roads, tracks, byways. Yeah, it's been alright. And the bits I didn't like, they were soon forgotten about. For the distance, there's not too much elevation. We're talking over 300 miles and 7,000 feet. That to me is not a lot. Most of the climbs are just gentle. There's a few cheeky little sharp ones in there. But if you're not confident, you could get off your bike and push it up. But most cyclists shouldn't find it too challenging.
Hello. We had a good few days. We can recommend the King John's Way. It's got a bit of everything, plenty of history, plenty of good scenery, plenty of tailwinds.
Yeah, what about the headwinds?
Well, we don't count those.
Yeah, exactly. We forgot about them, haven't we?
We forget those. Rose-coloured spectacles.
Yeah, it's definitely a recommendation. Depends how long you want to take doing it. We've done it over 3 days effectively, 4 days on paper, but we started late on the first day.
3 full days, right?
Yeah, so 3 full days. We stopped at the places we want to stop. You could stop longer. Depends what you want out of it. We just like the adventure, and then going to places we haven't been, and it's thoroughly recommended. And that's the King John's Way.